Hi. I'm just going to hold tight here until somebody says hi and lets me know that you can both see me and hear me. I'm on, what time is it? I'm on actually right on time, right at 10 o'clock. So as I see you guys hopping on, then I will start to chat and get going. And yes, this will be recorded and I will repost it later. And as always, you can share with anyone that you like. So, okay, hi. All right, so I'm just hopping on this morning. I'm actually going to be coming on at 10 o'clock every morning over the next 3 days. I had put a post out yesterday, and I do this often. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll notice that I oscillate between posting a recipe, a nutrition, inspiration, exercise, something about my family, self-care, self-love. And yesterday what I posted was a quote about really declaring to the universe and asking for guidance and speaking up and saying what it is that you want to have, create, do more of, be more of, do less of, whatever it is. Because if you don't show up in your life, if you never ask, if you keep all of these things to yourself and you hold them in, the universe has no way of knowing what it is that you really want to do. So it'll show up and vibrate and respond to whatever your habits and routines are that you're currently doing. But if none of those things are serving you, if you're stuck in the rut, if you freaking hate your routine, you don't like the job, the relationship, the fact that you're doing everything for everyone else, well, the universe is like, well, clearly this is just what she wants because she's not asking us for anything else. And you keep showing up to this every single day. So I'm going to read to you the quote that I put out there yesterday. And then I'm going to let you know some of the feedback that I got, the questions that I got, and then I'm going to take you through. We're going to be maybe about 10 minutes this morning, maybe a little bit less. So this is what I had posted yesterday morning. Talk to the moon and tell the universe exactly what you want. I'm reading it over here. It can't give it to you if it doesn't know. And so I put below that, declare, ask out loud, do it in every which way or any which way that you can. And I got lots of questions like, well, what does that actually look like? Is it something specific that you have to write down? Do you have to sit in meditation in a mudra and close your eyes? Is it praying? Do you have to go somewhere to make this happen? Do you have to go to an energy healer? There was all these different questions that came in. So I want to thank Rose and Anne, Pam, Angela, Melissa, Jess, Ainsley for asking and having the courage to come forward and say, Jen, I really want to create this. I want more of it, but I just don't know how. So I'm going to share from my personal experience, things that I have done for myself over the last X amount of years. And I will preface this by saying, I am not an energy healer. This is not something that I do for a living. I'm coming to you as a woman and a mother and somebody who has found these simple strategies that have really, honest to God, changed the entire trajectory of my life. I'm not exaggerating to say that I vibrate differently, I think differently, I interact with other humans differently. It has changed the mom that I am, the wife that I am. It has amplified my business. It has given me more time and freedom and space in my life and what I'm doing. And what I started to do is that many years ago, I don't even know how many years ago it was, but I've always gone through these phases of feeling really overwhelmed. I take on a lot of different things. I have my hands in a lot of different pots, and my constant theme was always feeling like I was kind of half-assing it in every area of my life. I was half-assing it in work. I was half-assing it as a mom. I was half-assing it as a wife. I was just kind of half-assing it in everything I was doing, and I was starting to get really fed up. And how that being fed up was showing up in me is I was starting to feel unwell more often. I was starting to get resentful of certain things. I was complaining about being tired all the time. And so I had to find a different way. And I reached into all the tools that I had as a nutritionist. I reached into changing the supplements, to changing the way I was eating, to getting more sleep, to exercising differently. So all the tools that I had, and I wasn't getting anywhere. And so I realized I need to start to actually look outside of what I know and start to tap into some other resources. So I started to spend time with different people. And as soon as I made this kind of proclamation to the universe and said, okay, like I'm friggin' ready. I've tried everything I know how to do. Show me something else. Show me something else. Hi, Sandra. To help to get me to that place that I want to go. And so people just started to kind of drop out of the universe. And I'd be standing in line somewhere and somebody would start to talk to me, or I'd see like this beautiful crystal somebody was wearing a mala and I'd be really drawn to it. You know, we all have this ability within us. We all have this deep intuition, this really deep knowing. We're actually all really flipping brilliant. We all have the power to manifest and create what we want and to actually ask and have it delivered to us. But we're all stuck. We're stuck in the rut of just our everyday life. If I even think back when I was like in my early teens, like 15, 16, I was always drawn to transcendental stores. I was drawn to like the Hedge Witch. I was always looking at tarot cards. I had my first deck then. I was starting to kind of play around. I had no idea what I was doing. I was buying pendulums and, you know, doing all of these different things. I was going to psychics. And so there was this definitely this part of me that knew and felt that energy mattered. And, so for me, what it started to look like is I just started to show up in different places where there was a different level of energy and conversation that was happening. People were actually asking me, well, like, what do you actually want to create? Have you ever like said it out loud? And I'd be like, no, not unless I'm like talking to a girlfriend. They're like, no. Like sit there and actually say it out loud. Like, hey, universe, spirit, guides, this is actually what I am asking for. This is what I want to create. And it doesn't matter what your religion, your spiritual beliefs, any of that is. Energy is real. It is everywhere. It is happening all the time. And if you don't believe that, I mean, energy is as real as the frequency that is coming through your radio when you turn on in your vehicle. Energy is as real as when you walk into a room and there is a certain energy that just feels really heavy and you're like, oh, this is not an environment for me. Or the opposite, where you walk in and you're like, oh my gosh, this energy is palpable. I love being here. Energy is as real as the person that you have in your life who you consider to be like the Debbie Downer, who sucks the life out of you. And no matter how happy you are, no matter how upbeat you are, you spend time with this person and you were just like, oh my God, I'm drained. Or the opposite. You show up in a crappy mood and there's somebody who's really positive and there's just something about them, something about their energy that helps to lift you up. So it's there, it's just tapping into how to use it. So the way that I do this for myself and I ask the universe for guidance is I have a couple of different ways. So the first thing that I will do is I write. So I'm big on journaling. I'm not a long journaler, meaning sometimes I literally just put words down on the paper. I really do love the 5-minute journal, which you can get at Chapters Indigo. You can also order it online because it puts you in a state of gratitude first thing in your day. And when you are in a state of gratitude, when you wake up, your level of perception starts to change. Your patience is a little bit stronger and better. Your level of empathy towards other people and your level of compassion towards yourself becomes strengthened and more fine-tuned. So starting your day off from that place of gratitude. What sounds better to you? Does it sound better to you to snooze 3 times, wake up in a grumpy mood, get yourself into the bathroom, not even brush your hair, maybe brush your teeth, run downstairs, get the kids going, see the unfinished piles of crap and shit all around your house, rush out the door without any food? Or waking up 5 minutes earlier, creating a little bit of positive traction in your morning by writing down, or actually instead of snoozing for 9 minutes, close your eyes, but sit up and actually think about like, how do I want to feel today? What do I want to create today? What are some of the things that I need to do less of in order to feel that freedom, that space? Or do I need to do more of in order to feel more grounded and more connected to myself and how I actually want to feel? The other thing that I do is I post an inspirational post on Instagram in the morning, and I know everyone thinks it's for them, and I'm so happy that you all love it, but most of the time I post on Instagram the woman in me that I need to be talked to as well. So almost always what I am putting out there for everybody else is a message of love to myself and a core reminder to me. And I know that this type of work is so needed because the comments and the questions and everything that I get back from women, we are struggling. We are struggling right now, and it is heartbreaking because we have so much more power. We have so much more incredible creation and femininity and just intuitive expression that is living within all of us that is just feels so heavy and pushed down and shoved down right now. And I literally, when I wake up in the morning now, I can't not ask myself and ask the women around me to rise up and to push up against that and to break through and to break free from it. So another thing that I started to do is I started to play around with different decks. Now, I've worked with many different healers over the years. So what does that look like? In the beginning, because I'm a very physical person and fitness is my background and exercise and science, it was always, going to somebody like for massage, chiropractic, osteo. I still do all of those things, but then I started to do more energy work. So I would get Reiki done. I would go to a shamanic healer and get ancestral work done. I've started to work with a new healer who's doing some akashic work and past life stuff and all these different things. And I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends yesterday, one of my dearest friends, and she was like, I don't know if I believe in all of that. And I was like, but it actually is irrelevant whether or not you believe it. You can be open enough and receptive enough to take the information in, and then you can just, whatever sticks, whatever resonates with you, that's the thing you needed to hear in that day. The other stuff, just be like, oh, that's interesting. Don't become attached to it and just let it go. But allow yourself to open up. Allow yourself the crown of your head to open up and let good information come in. I don't know if you know this, but every day you are being fed a load of BS and a lot of negativity. I consciously choose not to watch the news. That's one way of letting the universe know, not interested in all of the crap that is going on out there. I don't want to know how many people got killed today. I don't want to know what Donald Trump did. I don't want to know all of that shit. And some people can think that that's ignorant and I'm living in a bubble. Maybe I am, but my bubble is feeling pretty damn good right now. So that is a conscious choice. In working with these healers, cards were always coming up. Could have been animal cards, angel cards, goddess cards. Doreen Virtue has an excellent collection of many, many different decks of cards. These are beautiful gifts to ask for. These are beautiful gifts to purchase for yourself. And how do you choose? I'll tell you what I do. I just stand in the aisle where they are, and I just kind of hang out there for a couple minutes. I might touch some of them. I might pick them up. The one that jumps out at me the most, that I keep looking back to, or that I keep touching, that keeps coming back to me, that's what I buy. And I want to buy all of them half the time, but I don't. I just get the one and know that when I'm ready, I'll go back. And if those same decks of cards resonate with me, those are the ones that I'll purchase. I also have lots of crystals around me. So, and it's amazing now because I don't ask for these things for gifts, but people just buy me crystals and stones and different malas and things like that to just bring me so much joy. And it's because I've asked the universe, send me more of the things that bring me the lightness. People buy me gifts like owls now. And again, I don't ask for this stuff. It just starts to show up because I'm vibrating that this is what makes me feel really damn good. If you were to look at my workspace, it is not a typical office workspace. I'm surrounded by words and affirmations, and a lot of these things are created by dear friends of mine where their love and intention has got into it. I've got all different kinds of stones and crystals around me and just things that make me happy, because if I'm in a state of joy, I work better. And also I will tell you that being in that state of joy in my workspace reminds me when I need to stop working and to pull back as well too, because if the work starts to feel too heavy, I start to feel heavy and I have to back off. And I think the bigger thing is that all the ladies who sent in the questions yesterday were asking me, what does it look like? Like, how do you ask it? Do you literally sit there and be like, excuse me, hey universe, it's Jen. Is it like confessional where you go into church and you like knock, knock and do that? No. Here's what you need to do for yourself. Stop asking what it is supposed to look like and start to ask yourself what it's supposed to feel like. Get back to how you want to feel. If the way you're doing something, you're like, oh my God, this is total BS. This isn't working for me. I know this sounded great for her. Not working for me. It's not your thing. And you're going to drive yourself nuts trying to fit yourself into the box of what's serving somebody else. So find whatever way works for you. There are no coincidences. So I'm going to say to you right now, if you hopped onto this Facebook Live, and maybe you hopped on and you hopped off and whatever, if you're hearing this recording, it's not by accident. There's a reason that you're hearing this message today. There's a reason that today at 10 a.m. I popped up into your newsfeed and into your life for some reason. And that reason is to remind you that you deserve to feel really good, that you deserve to carve out time for yourself to start to ask these questions, that you have no idea the infinite wisdom that is there. You have no idea the conversations that you are having with yourself that you aren't allowing to come to the surface. So there's no irony in this. This is not a coincidence. You were meant to hear this message. And I said in the beginning, this is not, part of what I do for a living, but I will tell you this. I really can't call myself a nutritionist anymore. The nutrition is the furthest thing from what I do with clients now. I help them to understand why they are choosing to nourish or lack of nourishment that they're putting into their body based on all the parts of who they are and what they do. So we do it this way. We think that if we have a new way of eating, a new meal plan, a new exercise plan, we join a new program that's telling us what to do, that it's all going to be fixed. And it's not. And you're going to spend a ton of money and you're going to waste your time and energy until you're ready to actually peel off one of those layers and sit and be quiet with yourself, and still enough that when somebody asks you the question of, ladies like Melissa, Katie, Tina, Sandra, Anne, Joy, Megan, how do you want to feel today? How do you want to feel? Like, time is not of an issue right now. Expenses are not of an issue. Your kids are not of an issue. Your job, like, how do you want to feel? Because how you want to feel actually costs you nothing, but gives you everything. My husband bought me this beautiful book for my birthday. Again, I had been perusing in the bookstore. If I'm not at home, you're going to find me at Chapters. I own way too many books, and I kept hanging out near this book. We rented a cottage. I know the glare, you can't see it. It's another one by Doreen Virtue. It's Daily Guidance from Your Angels. Okay, now, we rented a cottage in the summer, and this book was there. And there was like hundreds of books there. And this book just like popped right out, and I started to read it every day. And I found myself like getting good goosebumps every day reading this, and it just set the tone. And so when my birthday was coming up at the beginning of September, I didn't ask for this book. We were just in Chapters one day, and I was kind of lingering in this area, and there was many different books like this, and this is the one that I opened from my husband on my birthday. And so every day I open it up to a page. And so I opened it up to a page this morning just before we came onto this Facebook Live. And remember, there are no coincidences, there is no irony. And you can believe that I'm telling you this honestly, or you can believe that I'm full of shit and I stage this. It doesn't really matter to me. And that's another part of how the universe gets more clear on what it is you're asking for. You don't give two flying fucks about what other people think about what it is you want to create out of your life. You get really laser focused on clear on what this is for you. Because ladies, it is all of you on this morning, and most of you are mamas. I'm going to tell you right now, how you show up as a better mama is you show up to yourself. And you teach your children self-love, self-care, self-compassion, and self-worth by showing them what that looks like. So this is what I opened up this morning. I am going to read this to you. It's going to take me maybe 2 minutes to read through it. I'm going to ask that you stay with me on this, okay? So this is what I opened this morning. It's titled at the top, Hold Nothing Back from Yourself. You have many important inner conversations, many of which you're completely unaware of. Sharing with yourself is vitally important. So what would you like to admit to yourself right now? Sometimes it's just a matter of giving yourself the opportunity to practice self-honesty. Some of your emotions might worry you or frighten you or intimidate you. So you keep them from your conscious awareness. You're actually blocking them right now. You might be ashamed of these feelings, yet admitting them to yourself is an important step for happiness and true healing on every level. You don't need to act upon these emotions, but it's important to admit them to yourself. In doing so, you'll understand the reason why they arise, and you'll start to gain greater compassion for yourself. Self-honesty is the cornerstone of self-awareness, which in turn is the foundation of your self-love. When you know who you are, you can better accept yourself. Have the intention today of eavesdropping upon your own inner conversations and try to keep a sense of humor, compassion, and love towards them. Hold nothing back from yourself and candidly converse about every topic, airing your deepest feelings, and then take the risk of expressing them through writing, singing, dancing, or some other creative outlet. So this is your thought for today. I am honest with myself. I open the lid on my emotions and I view them with the same compassion and love that I would extend to my child. As I admit my innermost feelings to myself, I gain a deeper understanding of love of myself and others. So what I love about this book is that it gives you that paragraph or so to read, and then it gives you a core thought for the day. And I thought this was so amazing because this page that I opened to today is talking to you about being more honest with yourself. You have 100,000 conversations that go on inside of this head and your body every single day, and you're suppressing half of them. And that's why you feel so tired and so heavy, is you're not being real and being honest with yourself. And if your child were to come to you and express how they were feeling and their deepest desires and their core feelings and what they wanted to create, you wouldn't sit there and say, just shove that back in. We don't have time for this. You know, that's not important. It doesn't matter. You have all these other obligations. We would sit and we would listen and we would do everything in our mama bear power to actually help our children rise up to that level and to say, you know what, that sounds amazing and you actually deserve all those things that you want to have. What can we do to help you get there? You need to start to be that person for yourself. Simply showing up and asking guidance from the universe, using some of these different tools that I've talked about, surrounding yourself with a different group of people that are going to help you to get there. These are all just helping to nudge you along, but it really comes down to us, the individual. All of these are just great ideas if they just stay up here floating around as ideas. So now my call to action for you is, can you actually grab hold of some of these ideas and pull them down, ground them and root them, and start to actually create something for yourself where in every moment of your day, you're holding on to a little bit of that. And this might start with 2 minutes that you carve out for yourself. Can you be quiet and still for 2 minutes today and just be like, hey Patty, hey Gina, hey Rochelle, hey Amy, how you feeling? Like, how are you actually feeling today? You feeling good? The answer is no. What can I do to help you? The same level of love, compassion, and care that you would give to a child, you deserve for yourself, because we're all sitting around as women waiting for someone else to do it. We're waiting for our spouse to do it, our coworker to do it, our boss to do it, our friends to do it, our kids to do it. Lead by example and show up to yourself, for yourself, okay? All right, I'm going to leave it off that. I hope you got some little golden nuggets. Again, this is me just sharing from my heart in response to so many of the questions that came in around this. And yes, I do. I have, oh, awesome. Some of you are coming. I do have a retreat, a one-day retreat in Niagara this Saturday. If you do want more info, thank you, Amy. If you do want more info on this, just head over to jenpike.com. Under events, you're going to see the drop down. Saturday is full encompassing. This is a full day about you, your body, your deepest desires, and how we're going to create true healing. We're moving through yoga. We are moving, talking a lot about nutrition, digestion, inflammation. We are also talking about your lovely hormones, your adrenals and your thyroid, and how tapping into this part of you and creating this level of healing from the inside out is actually going to be the final frontier of where that healing happens. This is outside of medication, supplementation, all of that. This is getting to the roots of who you are. So I'm wishing you all a fantastic day. I'll be back on tomorrow at 10 a.m. and Friday at 10 a.m. talking about some different self-care and self-love practices. If you want to join me, have an amazing day. Take care.